Welcome back to the Roundtable.
Did you know that there are more than 98,000 stay-at-home dads in America right now? Some work from home and pick up the kids after soccer practice, and others are full-time diaper changers. Today's essayist, Tom Hayowick, tells us why you can spell stay-at-home dad without S-A-D.
Now, I know that being a stay-at-home dad is not quite as unusual as it was 12 years ago when I left my job in an ad agency and began my personal journey into the land of child-rearing responsibilities and chauffeur duties traditionally traveled by soccer moms, grandmothers, and young au pairs with scrunchies holding back their shiny blonde ponytails. But when I go on elementary school field trips or help with in-classroom parties, I am still often the only male above the age of 11. And though the teachers, mostly female, and moms, all female as far as I know, are very nice to me and appreciative of the fact that I may be the only one in the room tall enough to reach the basket of flashcards on the top shelf, I sometimes catch a whiff of, weirdness in the air. As if, like in the Sesame Street song I know all too well, I am the one thing that is not like the others. Every once in a while, I know I see a disapproving look in the eyes of one of the more precocious boys, and I can tell he's wondering why I am not out managing a hedge fund or using power tools to restore Victorian houses. You know, guy work. Perhaps the most telling result of my self-imposed exile from the world of high-rise offices and performance reviews that I was part of for almost 15 years is how people think of me for, homemaker stuff. One neighbor, whose kitchen was being renovated and needed to provide classroom treats for a birthday party, immediately called not one of her church bake sale girlfriends, but me, because, as she said, I knew you'd know exactly where your cupcake pans were. If there is a more emasculating sentence in the English language, someone please email it to me. Others have paid me equally backhanded compliments. An old girlfriend once told me that I was so in touch with my feminine side that I really didn't need her, and then to prove her point, she left. And when he was a youngster, my oldest son used to tell people that his daddy was, quote, a writer who vacuums, unquote. If I had $1 for every time that I had been called Mrs. Hayowick by a well-meaning teacher or school nurse, I could buy lots of really nice new cupcake pans. One time, a preschool instructor referred to me in the feminine as I was standing in the middle of a group of 6 moms planning a Valentine's Day party for 4-year-olds. She immediately backpedaled, stammering, "You know what I mean." To which I responded, "Yes, I think I know exactly what you mean. And if you ladies will excuse me now, I have to drop my son with a babysitter so I can go to a bar and start a fight." Now, all this may sound like complaining, but I chose this life, and because of that choice, I have been here to help our 3 children manage all the stages of childhood, from being totally dependent toddlers to challenging adolescence, to that surly subspecies called teenager. It's already been rewarding, and I know that this experience will one day pay an additional dividend, because watching the kids achieve young adulthood and then move out of our house will be much easier to handle for me than for many other dads. In fact, when my youngest strikes out on her own someday, I may throw an adults-only party, for which I will be more than happy to bake the cupcakes.
When not vacuuming, Tom Hayowick is a freelance writer and drummer for an all-doctor rock band. He lives in Summer, Connecticut.
Kate Fox is next on the Roundtable.